Hey y'all, welcome back to the Homestead. Today we're going to be talking about eggs. Eggs are an incredible product. They can go from this to this. Giving life is what eggs do. They produce baby turkeys, chickens, ducks, whatever the egg comes from. It's pretty cool how nature works. So what's the difference between your locally sourced eggs and your commercial eggs? Well, commercial growers of chickens, all they do is they keep the chickens in a cage all day long. The chickens are kept in those cages 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can get cage-free eggs at your grocery store, but that just means the chicken is still in a shed, but just is out of the cage. And then you have free-range eggs, which just means they're still in a shed and the chicken only has access to a certain portion of land. So that means if they don't know how to get outside, well, they can still be considered free-range eggs. Chicken eggs are graded based on their freshness. Grade AA, grade A, and grade B. Grade A and grade AA are the same. It's just that grade A eggs are slightly older than grade AA eggs. Grade B eggs just means they have a slight blemish on the shell, maybe a blood spot inside, which is totally natural. Depending on what farmers feed their chickens, it kind of depends on what the yolk's going to look like. For me personally, I feed my chickens alfalfa and I allow them to free range through winter wheat, winter rye, field peas, and other vegetables that I offer them. We also grow our own fodder, which just means that we start seeds in a mason jar and we transplant them into a big tub so that the chickens can have access to that fodder. Also, when an egg is laid, the chicken puts a bloom on the outside of the egg. It's kind of like clear coating the egg. And it keeps the over 6,000 pores that are in that egg. It keeps bacteria from getting into that egg. When you go to your local farmer's market, you may pay a little bit more for the eggs, but they're always going to be healthier. In fact, chickens at free range eat bugs, what they should be eating, bugs, worms, maybe even a mouse. They also eat the greens, which means that they're gonna have lower in cholesterol and higher vitamins. So most farmers that collect eggs, they don't usually wash their eggs, because when you wash your eggs, you wash the bloom. You can wash your locally sourced eggs, but you should put a little bit, just a light coating of oil, vegetable oil, on the outside of your eggshells, so this way it keeps them clean and it keeps them still sealed. Nothing that you can do via oil or anything else will replace what nature has done with the egg, which is put that bloom on there. When you go to the grocery store, the eggs are washed and the bloom is gone, exposing the egg and the interior of that egg to the bacteria all around. Another way to test the freshness of your eggs when you bring them home from your locally sourced farmer, well, you can float test. Take your egg, drop it in some water, and watch how it sits at the bottom. This one is laying down, which means that it is fresh. Some eggs will float all the way up to the top, which means it's stale. Eggs can vary in age, but the farm fresh eggs are always going to be the best. Never float test and then put your eggs back into your egg carton unless you're going to use them right away. Exposing the eggs to moisture releases that bloom on the outside. So what I always try to do is make sure that I store my eggs on the very bottom shelf in the very back of my refrigerator. Some eggs that you get from your local farmer may come out a little dirty, and that's okay. If you feel that you just don't want this unsightly blemished egg in your refrigerator, you can wash it, but just remember, washing your egg destroys that nature's bloom, and it exposes the inside of the egg to the bacteria all around it. Eggs stored in a root cellar that is 45 degrees with 70% humidity can be stored for up to 3 months. But if you store them in your refrigerator, because the refrigerator has the defrost mechanism, they will only last 5 weeks. Some eggs are sold fertile. And when people buy those fertile eggs, they believe they're more nutritious and more healthier for you than an infertile egg. And that could be far from the truth. When a rooster inseminates a chicken, the contribution and the introduction of the rooster's sperm does not change the nutritional value of the egg. Some people believe that the color of the shell also dictates the nutritional value of the egg, and that is far from the truth. A brown egg, a white egg, a pink egg, a blue egg, a green egg does not have more nutritional value than the other. In truth, it's how the chicken's raised and what they eat. Chickens that have access to pasture or other green feeds are also healthier when they lay those eggs. Those eggs will have lower cholesterol and lower saturated fat. They'll have higher values of vitamin A, D, and E, and folic acid, and also your omega-3 polyunsaturated fat versus your store-bought eggs. Another great scare that the media loves to give us is the cholesterol in eggs, saying that eggs have high cholesterol. Well, that is far from the truth. Again, as I mentioned, it depends on how the chicken's raised and what they have access to as feed. A healthy body will also compensate for a higher caloric intake by not excreting so much cholesterol from the body. So in conclusion, farm fresh eggs are going to be healthier for you as long as the farmer's feeding them a good diet. Don't go to the grocery store and buy those commercially grown and harvested eggs. Get them from your local source. Support somebody local, because buying local changes lives. So until next time, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified when new videos come out. Till next time, we'll see ya.